Hey, what is happening, you rude Rotom? Taking a look at some new reveals here today. This will be coming out in our Stellar Crown set that should be coming out the second weekend of September, maybe the third weekend of September, I want to say, somewhere around that time frame. And speaking of Stellar Crown, it's already available for pre-order over at GameGridSLC.com. So go ahead, check out. Link, of course, will be in the description. Get your Stellar Crown pre-orders in. No reason to wait. GameGridSLC.com. Link in the description. Code AzulGG will also get you a discount over there as well. So be sure to go check it out. So we've already seen a couple of these before, but we're going to go ahead and go through them again real fast. The AzulGG EX, 270 HP, Terra Pokemon, Abyssal Flames, 30 plus 20 for each energy in your discard pile, and then Fire Psychic Mantle, 280, discard all energy from this Pokemon. So I think the best way to utilize this card will be that first attack, and just kind of attack over and over, do a bunch of damage, by getting a bunch of energy in your discard pile. You use Radiant Greninja to get energy in the discard pile. There's also a Rapidash that says discard a fire energy from your hand, and your fire Pokemon do plus 30 damage to your opponent's active Pokemon during your turn. It's a stage 1, so possibly combo that with like the Aroma, and then you can get a bunch of stage 1s out. Start swinging really hard with the Abyssal Flame, and the Abyssal Flame will build up turn after turn after turn into the late game. I don't know, seems decent for sure. The biggest reveal maybe is this Eevee here. We knew this Eevee was coming out. It was like in the background of like an ad or something. You couldn't quite make out what it did, but we could see it was an Eevee. We could see it has an ability. And historically in the PokemonTCG, Eevees with abilities have always been very, very good. And this one isn't any different. It's got that boosted evolution ability. If this Pokemon is in the active spot, it can evolve during your first turn on the turn it was put into play. Now, I didn't really think about too hard about other evolutions that this could be comboed with, but it can definitely be comboed with that Sylveon EX, 270 HP, Terra Pokemon, Psychic Double Colorless, Magical Charm, 160 to your opponent's next turn. The defending Pokemon's attacks do 100 less damage. So to whatever's in your active, but it's on their Pokemon, which is generally not that powerful of an effect because they can usually like switch out of it or retreat out of it or something like that. But the second attack is pretty good, and especially if we can attack on our first turn, which I'll explain how we can do that here in just a second. Then we can already be putting on a ton of pressure when we go second with this deck. We probably want to choose to go second with this deck, to be honest, and just turn one hit for 160, punch, or knock out the active. But for Water, Lightning, Psychic, choose 2 of your opponent's bench Pokemon. They shuffle those Pokemon and all attached cards into their deck. That's pretty powerful, especially if you have some kind of bench limiter in the Sylveon deck, like Collapse Stadium, or you could play this with, why do I always forget the name of that Pokemon? The Pokemon that says when it's in your active spot, your opponent's bench gets reduced to 3. It's some Pokemon that also poisons your opponent's Pokemon. Dude, what is the name of that Pokemon? How do I always forget it? But anyways, the way you can attack with this thing on your first turn is we can use the Glass Trumpet that accelerates energy to our colorless Pokemon if we have a Terra Pokemon in play. So we could either get an Eevee into the active, evolve it to Sylveon, then Glass Trumpet to other Eevees on our bench, then get those Eevees in the active and evolve it to Sylveon. Or we'll probably play some other Terra Pokemon, like you could combo this and play it with, I guess, maybe just Terrapagos. So you like bench Terrapagos, and then you can accelerate energies to your Eevees through the Glass Trumpet, and then you evolve your Eevee to Sylveon, and there you go. Turn 1 attack with Sylveon with the Magical Charm, Radiant Greninja for draw power, plus getting your energy into the discard pile for the Glass Trumpet. Yeah, this just seems like a crazy combo building up here. And you can play other evolutions as well. We're not limited to just the Sylveon EX. I haven't taken a look at the other evolutions, but yeah, turn 1 Sylveon EX swinging sounds pretty good to me. So it's a good start. It's a good start anyways. This Eevee definitely broken, but yeah, Eevees with abilities, like I said, historically broken cards. Up next, got some other pretty good cards here. Not the Ho-Oh, so we're going to skip that. Not the Marill. The Azumarill is a little bit interesting, so I'll go ahead and read it. The ability, Double Edge, used by this Pokemon costs only a Psychic Energy if you have a Terra Pokemon in play. Okay, so not terrible. 230 for 1 Psychic Energy is not bad on a Stage 1 Pokemon. It's interesting. The heavy hitters here, though, are these A-Specs and the Terra Orb here. Let's start with the Precious Carrier. Search your deck for any number of basic Pokemon and put them onto your bench, then shuffle your deck. That's a pretty powerful card, but it is your A-Spec. Also, it's an item card, but you'd have to be comboing it with some kind of way to find it in form of like Forest Sealstone or Irida, or what's the other one? Arven. And then you could fully fill your bench turn 1, and that means you don't have to play Nest Balls or Buddy Poffins. You could just play 1 Precious Carrier and maybe Ultra Balls to find your evolutions, and that's it. So I don't know what deck would abuse this. Could look at something like Charizard or Dragapult. Decks, honestly, that like want to set up stuff like Zatus and stuff would be pretty good to include this in those. You can combo this with TM Evolution as well. Like turn 1, you could go Arven for Precious Carrier to get a bunch of basic Pokemon, get TM Evolution, and then TM Evolution into, I mean, whatever you're playing. But that's a pretty good combo right there alongside Arven. You could run Luminion and Ultra Balls in the deck, so to increase your odds of finding that turn 1 Arven, or some kind of Pokegear build as well could work. But yeah, definitely a very powerful card. I think the combo of TM Evolution and Arven synergizes with this super well, and I'm excited to see what kind of evolution decks will actually be able to take advantage of this. Up next, we got that perfect mixer. Some of you have maybe played with Battle Compressor in the past. Also, I guess Precious Carrier does kind of remind me a little bit of Battle VIP Pass. Maybe these are what these cards should have been, but perfect mixer, search your deck for up to 5 cards and discard them, then shuffle your deck. I mean, that's just like a super powerful effect. How many decks can abuse that right now? Maybe not a whole ton that I can think of off the top of my head are going to be able to abuse this. Honestly, this could combo decently well with Glass Trumpet decks. Is it called Glass Trumpet? I wouldn't be calling it Glass Trumpet if it wasn't called Glass Trumpet, right? This could combo pretty well with Glass Trumpet decks, getting a bunch of energy into the discard pile and then having all that energy to work with. But getting energy in the discard pile, as long as you're playing Ultra Ball, really isn't that big of a deal. The one deck that this stands out with that's probably going to go into immediately is United Wings. Maybe this is the piece that United Wings is missing on top of already missing the Dartrix. We got the Dartrix in Shrouded Fable coming out. Set after that, we'll get the perfect mixer. Maybe it's all kind of coming together for United Wings here. I don't think we'd be playing like Arven or anything in United Wings, but this would be like a super powerful card just to have in your deck to eventually draw into, to really be able to get you to that next level in terms of damage output turn to turn. So very good probably with United Wings. Besides that, I can't come up with anything off the top of my head. I'm sure other combos out there exist that people have already thought about and are talking about. So let me know, comment section down below, what else have you guys been able to come with, or have you seen people come up with the Precious Carrier and the perfect mixer? Let me know, comment section down below. I'm very curious. Always want to know what people have been able to come up with. And the last card, been able to come up with, I'm speaking a little bit too fast here. In the last card, the Terra Orb. Search your deck for a Terra Pokemon, reveal it, and put it into your hand, then shuffle your deck. That's pretty good. This is an insanely powerful Pokemon search cards. Pokemon search cards like this with no drawback have always been insanely broken in the Pokemon TCG. I'm talking Evolution Incense. I'm talking Dive Ball. I'm talking Cherish Ball. Dive Ball, search your deck for any water Pokemon. Thankfully, probably at the time, there wasn't that many broken water decks. It was played in Greninja Break. Greninja Break was solid. Without Dive Ball, I don't think it would have been very good, but Greninja Break wasn't like broken. But thinking about it, yeah, Dive Ball was pretty broken. Yeah, Cherish Ball, search your deck for any GX Pokemon, I believe, if I'm remembering correctly. Tag teams were GXs, right? I know it could find tag teams. I'm pretty sure they were all GXs. Yeah, so or Mysterious Treasure is also another one that I could shout out there. Mysterious Treasure did force you to discard 1 card from your hand, but then search your deck for any Psychic or Dragon Pokemon. Absolutely broken Pokemon search card. Terra Orb, I don't think is going to be any different. This thing seems insanely powerful, but the one thing here is most Terra Pokemon are evolutions. So you still need to find your basics. So you can't probably just get away with like 4 Terra Orb. I mean, honestly, maybe you could get away with 4 Terra Orb, 4 Ultra Ball, but probably not. Maybe 4 Terra Orb, 4 Nest Ball, depending on the build. Maybe 4 Terra Orb, 4 Poffin. That's still pretty good. Ultra Ball kind of sucks. Like, I don't think people realize how bad Ultra Ball is until you've played with a deck that plays like a Mysterious Treasure. Obviously, Ultra Ball does have some synergies with decks as they want to more aggressively discard cards. Something like the Regidrago deck is a good example of that. Putting cards in your discard pile aggressively doesn't hurt as much in a deck like that, but a lot of other decks wish they had something like a Terra Orb, like a Mysterious Treasure, that they could opt in over those Ultra Balls, because the discarding can be a pretty big factor in terms of how powerful their turns could be. Like Charizard, Pidgeot's a great example. If they just had a card that said discard 1 card, search your deck for any evolution card, or something like that, that'd be pretty good. Of course, Ultra Ball to be able to find Luminion and stuff like that is still decent, but like, you get the point. Like, Ultra Ball can be a super costly card to try and pull off big combo plays around, because it makes you discard so many resources to actually find the Pokemon you need first. So yeah, insanely powerful card, really cool, powerful A-specs. Man, the Pokemon TCG just keeps getting better and better. Every new set that comes out, I'm super impressed with what they're doing with the direction of the game and kind of the uniqueness of the cards and stuff like that. Terra support and Terra Pokemon seem a little bit overwhelming initially from what we've seen out of Japan, but we'll see how it goes from there. I wouldn't really mind if Terra Pokemon take over the format, as long as it's still cool, fun, and interesting, and there's enough Terra decks to go around. But if it comes down to everyone just playing Area Zero Palkia, and it's just Area Zero Palkia mirror matches, that would be a little bit less enjoyable of an experience of the Pokemon TCG. But I'm hopeful, because so far, since rotation of Broken Lugia, the Pokemon TCG has not let me down. The designers of the game have not let me down for a long time. Been thoroughly enjoying the Pokemon TCG for a really, really long time now. So yeah, I think we're just on a continued upward trajectory with these cards. But let me know, comment section down below, what combos have you been able to come up with? What combos have you seen other people come up with? Let me know, and I'll catch y'all in the next one.